Hey everyone, it is Lewis Meyer, producer of Capital Kidvention. So thank you for joining us tonight. And for those of you that are going to be watching this in the replay, hello to you. So basically, what I thought we would do is go over some things. It's almost deal day, which is actually really exciting. That's for me. That is the best day of the year because I never know how it's going to go, and it's always kind of a guess. And so, but we've hit it every year, and so I've always been super excited by the people that we get to register in just one day. So let me see. Tell me if this music seems too loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. So, so basically, you know who I am. Just so you guys know, through this platform that I'm using, you can type comments into the comment section. So we're broadcasting on Facebook right now on a few different places on Facebook. So if you want to type in a comment, I believe it'll actually show up on my screen. So if anyone wants to give it a test, feel free to throw up a comment and I'll see if it's actually working or not. But here we go. Yeah. So hello, there you go. Hello from San Diego. Thanks, Angie. So this is perfect. So yeah, feel free if you guys have any questions. So this is for me to give you some information about the convention and deal day for tomorrow, but it's also a place for you all to go ahead and ask questions. So if you have any questions, hey Meredith, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section because I'd like to get to every single question. So if that happens, so just let me know. So let's get started. So like I said, I'm Lewis Meyer. I produce the convention. So if you've seen any of the advertising or the marketing and the social media stuff that's going around, that's me that does that. So I'm the one that actually puts out all of those marketing pieces and anything emails that you get. All of that stuff is from me. Capital Kidvention is run by me prior to the convention, and then we have a staff of people at the convention. So hey Lorraine. So just to give you an idea of who I am, if you don't know who I am. But either way, so deal day is tomorrow. So let me just give you an idea. Tomorrow, if you don't know about deal day, it's the 1 day opportunity to purchase registration for the convention for $250. The very next day, it actually goes up to $375. So you're going to save $125 if you register on that 1 day, which is tomorrow. So if you can register on deal day, then you're going to save a lot of money. Plus, we need to hit 200 people. So that's the kicker. It's kind of like the old Groupon, if you remember Groupon, to where you had to hit a certain number for everyone to get the Groupon. And that's the same exact thing. Hey, Tina, is we're basically going to be, we need to hit a threshold of 200. So 200 people. Once we hit those 200 people, then everyone gets the deal for 250. If by some chance we didn't hit 250, then every single person will get refunded on the next day, and then everyone can repurchase registration if you want to. But we've never not hit the 200. It's always happened. So I don't think that it's going to be an issue. On the other hand, I do need your help to spread the word tomorrow. So just don't forget to spread that word so that we can get more people registered. I think everyone's probably seen something about deal day at this point. So that's tomorrow. And then throughout the day, I'm going to be jumping on here and doing some live stuff and giving you updates and things like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it. It's a day that just I'm at my computer the entire time, and so I'm going to jump on and give you updates and things like that. It's like a holiday almost for me, basically. So that's deal day. Let's see. There's one thing that I didn't mention, so you guys are going to hear this first, is that For everyone that registers tomorrow, I'm going to give you a free lecture. So this is something that no one knows about yet. So I'll make an announcement about this tomorrow officially. But for everyone that registers on deal day, not only do you get the best price, but I'm going to send you a lecture from year 2. So from the second Kapital Kidvention, you're going to have your choice of 3 different lectures. There's a business lecture by David Farr. There's a face painting lecture by Brady Nager, which I haven't heard anything from him recently. So he did a style of face painting that I've never seen reproduced since. So if you're interested, you can watch his lecture. And then I have a magic lecture by Eric Henning. So I have 3 different lectures that if you sign up tomorrow, you're going to get for free. So that's something that I'm going to send you the very next day. So keep that in mind. You're going to see a post about it, but that's a surprise that everyone here is going to hear about first. So stretch goals. If once we hit our 200, every person that registers after that is going to add towards our stretch goals. So once we hit 215 people, we get free tote bags for everyone. So everyone that comes to the conference is going to get a tote bag. And then I think it's at 230 and 245 and 260, something like that. For every level that we hit, you get more free stuff in that tote bag. So we're just going to put in, there's plastic cups, a notebook, and then a tumbler. So hey, Fawn, the lecture is online. I'm sorry. Thanks for putting that comment up there. It's an online lecture from year 2 of Kapital Kidvention. So I'm going to send you a link where you can just click on the link and then just watch it from there. So thanks for your question. But anyway, so the more people that register tomorrow, the more stuff that everyone is going to get. So this is something that the more that we talk about it, the more people are going to register. And I've done this now. We've done deal day for, 8 years maybe. And for all of the 8 years we've hit it. I think one year it was the year after COVID, a couple years ago, we came a few shy and we did it anyways. But every year we've hit it. So, and every year we move on to stretch goals too. So I look forward to seeing. We've never hit the tumbler goal. We've never hit that. We never did a tumbler. Before it was t-shirts. So I'm hoping that we can actually bust through this time. If so, we're limiting deal day to just 400 people. So we'll see what happens. Let's. Oh, hello, Tina. So let's continue. I want to go through this schedule. So the schedule to me is the hardest part to put together for the conference. So for me, putting this schedule together is the hardest part because there's so many things that go into putting this schedule together. Thanks, Meredith. And so basically what I need to do is go through it with you and to see if you have any questions about it. So, and then I have some surprise guests that are here today. Some of the instructors that are going to be teaching you in end of January, February. And I would like to invite them to come on and just give you a little bit about what they're teaching. So as they pop up in the schedule, I'm going to invite them to jump on, and then you're going to hear from them just a little bit too. So let me turn this music down. Can you guys hear that music? It seems a little loud. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Convention begins Thursday, unofficially. Thursday night at 7 o'clock, we're all going to meet and have kind of a little jam beforehand. So everyone's going to hang out at the bar. If I get a room at the hotel that they'll let me borrow, we're going to use that. But if not, we'll be at the bar is big enough to fit all of us. So we'll all hang out there and have an unofficial party prior to the convention starting. Then on Friday at 10 a.m., registration will open. We're thinking about opening registration Thursday night. So if you're there on Thursday night, we may be able to get you registered at the little bar meeting, or a little pre-jam is what we call it. All right, let me talk about the schedule. One thing I need to make clear, this schedule is subject to change. Poo happens, things happen, and sometimes it's not in my control, sometimes it is. Sometimes there's some scheduling issues with the instructors. And so basically, this is what I think it will be, but it always changes. So just know that there is a little flexibility in this. So at 1 o'clock, registration is at 10 to 1. We can get you registered. And then at 1 o'clock, you'll see me again. I'll be up on stage and I'll give you an overview of the conference. So I talk for about a half hour, just giving you an overview of what we're going to do and introduce who the Lifetime Achievement Award is going to be going to this year. So this will be year 4 that we've done this. So we'll see. Lifetime Achievement is given out at that point too. And then at 1:30, you're going to meet Jolly Roger, or Roger as we know him. And he is going to speak a little bit to you about something that I feel is very special. Let me see. Oh yeah, I have it right here. So this is Roger's book. Let me see if you see it, The Spiritual Stage. So I have it marked at different places. So I love this book, and I asked if Roger could actually speak to all the entertainers there using some of the advice, well, it's better if I just let him talk. So Roger, if you're ready, I'd like to invite you.
Yeah, I'm ready. My goodness me, what an honor. And to be on first like this, I'm going to sort of set the stage for the entire convention here. What a great honor indeed. So yes, and thank you for inviting me. And just before anything, I'd like to say you do put on an amazing convention. I think this is absolutely wonderful. I have to point out that I think it was in the 1980s. There's a magazine I used to write for in England called Abracadabra, and in Abracadabra I suggested the idea of a convention for children's entertainers, and I got pooed down. People said it would never, ever work. I said, well, it'd probably be like a midweek convention because most entertainers work at the weekend. And then people said, well, I do preschools midweek. It would never, ever work. Well, since then, we've got your convention. We've got Tricks over in England. We've got a couple of conventions in England. We've got the Kidabra. We've got your wonderful convention. So it's all happening. All I'm saying is that I guess I was a bit of a prophet there. Ugh.
Yeah, I think you were.
Okay, so what am I talking about in the spiritual stage? In my first lecture is very much going to be geared not just to the magicians, but to right across the aisle, because something very interesting happened a couple of years ago when I was at your convention. One evening, I decided to go in to the, I think they were face painters and balloon artists. And I said, do you want to see a magic trick? And magicians will know what I'm talking about, but other people probably won't. So I got out a Svengali pack, which is magicians know what that is, but obviously balloon artists didn't. And I started doing them. They all kind of gathered around and thought, wow, this is very cool. And I said to them, well, maybe you could start to branch out a little bit, as well as doing the balloons, and maybe learn a couple of magic tricks. And they thought it was a good idea. So my lecture is going to be very much about thinking out of the box, thinking big. I think that each one of us has a vast untapped potential within us. There aren't going to be any magic tricks in this particular lecture. There will be in my next lecture. By the way, you don't like using the word lecture. What's the word you use? No, instruction. Lecture. Is that right?
Yeah. Workshop. Yeah. Lecture is great.
Yeah. So, it's going to be the vast potential inside all of us. I went to you'll see where this is leading in a minute. I don't want to talk too long on this, but I went to a boarding school in England, and there was a field marshal who came along and gave a lecture. His name was Slim, and I have no idea what he said in the lecture, except for one thing. He said, in life, when you have choices, he says, always take the bold choice. If you don't know which way to go, take the bold choice. Well, I've taken the bold choice all my life. I mean, I left. I had ran the largest children's entertainment agency in London in the early 1990s. I had like 30 or 40 kids entertainers out every day of the week doing parties. I sold the whole thing, left on a one-way ticket to Phoenix, Arizona, because I believed in myself and I followed my dream. And the phone's been going ever since. At my great age, which I won't give away, I'm still non-stop with shows. So it's thinking out of the box and thinking big, and really following your soul's purpose and reaching across the aisle a little bit. I'm hoping at this convention we're going to get the face painters, and because I think they can be a bit cliquey. One, you've got the magicians there, you've got the face painters there, you've got this there. They all go to the dealer's hall, they go straight. But I think it's great if we can reach across the aisle and all kind of, work together and get ideas from each other. And you never know, it may really work. You may find a whole other side to what's your true soul's purpose. So it's going to be an interesting talk. It's going to be something very different to anything you've seen at a convention before. Trust me.
Which is why we're doing it first, because honestly, I think what you're going to talk about is going to set the mood for the next 3 days while we're there. So that's why you're first, because I want everyone to be inspired while we're there. And I think that inspiration will come from we each have different reasons for attending. But I think what you're going to do is to be able to help people to tap into that inspiration. And then the next 3 days of learning will have a little bit more meaning to them. So that's why you're there.
Well, that's wonderful. And thank you for, and I do have a second lecture, which I'll talk about later, I guess.
Okay, sounds good. I'll bring you back. Thanks, Roger.
I think you did. Bring me back. Thanks. I'll put on a.
All right. So that's what we're going to open with. So you're going to learn a little bit more about Roger if you don't know him. It's going to be awesome. And that's how we're going to start it, like I said. And then at 3:00, we go into breakout sessions. By the way, if you're online, you can follow along with me if you want to. But basically, each breakout session is going to go into our different tracks. So we have the face painting track, we have balloon track, we have a magic track. And for the very first time, we're going to have an official clown track. So the clown track, I'll tell you what, instead of me talking about it, Daisy, if you're ready, I'd like to invite you up here. So, okay, you take your time. I'll bring you back. Are you ready? All right, here she comes. So Daisy is the director of the clown track. So Daisy and I work together on putting the elements together to make basically an entire clown convention while you're at Kidvention. So Daisy, tell me a little bit about what you planned, what your thinking was into choosing the instructors and the themes and the lectures.
Perfect. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Let me dust you off. Awesome. So a part of the clown convention, or the clown track of the convention, is for people new and old, some of the classics that you've already seen and how we can evolve it. So we have Julia, we have Mama Clown, we have Corn Pop, we have juggling, we have so many of your favorites doing clowning. So I'll start off some of the things with like the ABCs of clowning, and we'll go from everything from, oh, look at my hands with the little magic and pulling things out, to the improv of it all. What do you do in parades? What's your makeup like? What your costume is like? So we'll do the total clown from start to finish, but then you'll get specialties like what happens in the circus, makeup application, library shows. How do you plan those as a clown? What's clown light, or the different faces? So we'll have a makeup lab. We'll also have Mrs. Santa there. So she'll go over things on all throughout the year, how she is Miss Santa. And usually clowns are elves, and some Santas are even balloon twisters and clowns throughout the rest of the year. So she's making it adaptable, so your skill sets can now become different characters throughout the entire year. So you'll get basics, but you'll see how they can evolve. We'll go into branding, how you get paid through TikTok and Facebook, how you have merch. So it's not just the look of clowning. First, we have to make sure you're funny and you have your silliness together, but you can evolve it into a business unlike it was before, because there's so many platforms for you to share your talents.
Yeah, and so what I love about the clown track is that we've specialized and we've done these different classes that are going to be specific to clowns.
Hmm.
But I think when I put the schedule together, I think this is going to be so hard for people to choose, because you're going to have to choose. If you're a magician, before you just had one magic class to attend, but now you have a magic class, and then also Mama Clown is going to be talking over here at another classroom about working with children. And so this is going to be tough for people to choose from, because I think adding the clown track is it's not just for clowns, it's for anyone. I mean, you know better than I do.
Absolutely.
Clowns are more
Because
than
sometimes
funny.
as balloon twisters, sorry about that, as balloon twisters, you don't want to be just a balloon twisting robot. You want to still have some improv, some performance capability. So say if you're twisting a really awesome sword, you may think to knight the kid before you give them the sword, and then that's something clowny but a performance wise, so you're just not a balloon twisting machine. Even as a face painter, some of the things you make them a pretty butterfly, like, okay, you can say, how can I flap my wings and become the greatest butterfly ever? So how do you exaggerate some of those smaller moments and all of the different disciplines that will be there, that has a little bit of a clown spin, but it's really a performance spin?
Yeah. And then if you're a strict clown, of course, you want to know how to make balloons. You want to know how to face paint. You want to know to juggle. You're going to use all of these elements, and how to do magic tricks like you just did. So these are elements that every children's entertainer could learn from. So I'm super excited about the clown track this year. So
Me too.
yeah, thank you, Daisy.
My pleasure.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, so that's our clown track. But in that 3 o'clock session, we also have two face painting classes and two balloon classes going on at the same time. So we've got Joe Mock and Joshua Clark teaching balloons, and then Sean Abram and Heather Green is going to be talking about beginner's brushwork with Heather. So and Dutch will be there teaching in class at that point. So you're gonna have to pick and choose which one you want to attend. And then at 5 o'clock we go to dinner. So from 5 until 7, you have 2 hours to do whatever you want to do. The vendor room will be open for the first time. You can go into the vendor room, buy stuff. We're going to be doing a raffle that night. So for people that buy things in the vendor room on Friday night, you actually get a raffle ticket. And then at 11 o'clock on Friday night, we're going to have a raffle, and you're going to win some free stuff. But you can also, go grab dinner if you want to, if you're hungry, of course. And then the jam session begins at 7. So at 7 o'clock, is the jam room opens up for the balloon artists and the face painters traditionally. So magicians hang out in there, body painters are in there, you name it. Everyone hangs out in the jam room. That's the place to go. But if you want to still take classes, let's say jamming is not your thing. By the way, we have a DJ in there on Friday and Saturday night. So that place will be fun. It'll be rocking. We'll have themes. I'm thinking, tell me what you think. I'm thinking on Friday night, we're going to have an 80s theme. So everyone dress up like the 80s. We'll play some 80s music and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, I'm thinking like a Western theme of some sort. So I'm not really into country Western music, so I don't know if that'll be the case, but wearing a cowboy hat sounds kind of cool. So anyways, you guys can let me know what you think about that. And so George, LaRox will be in the vendor's room. Yes, they for sure will be there. So great question. Yeah, fun. Always fun in the jam room, that's for sure. So that's in the jam room. Plus Darcy McHenry is going to have some games in there. So for people that want to have some fun games instead of just doing, if you're in there for jamming and stuff like that, but if you also want to, play some face painting games, she'll be in there for that. So I just want to make sure I saw all the chat. All right. So, yeah, there you go, Fawn. Yeah, wear your boots. So that'll be Friday night. And then there's also going to be some classes going on. So if you're interested, that is when Avi Ram is going to be there teaching his airbrush stencil face painting. So for those of you who don't know or maybe haven't seen, we're going to have kind of a Skin Wars reunion. So this is going to be some of the contestants that were on this super popular body painting, face painting show called Skin Wars. A lot of them are going to be there, and they're going to be your teachers this year. Plus, I know Sammy is on here, so I'll get to you in a minute, Sammy. I haven't asked them yet, but what I would like to do is even have like a Skin Wars panel to where people could ask questions about the TV show, ask, any kind of questions they may have had about all of that. So either a panel or I might surprise people with this, but I might even have like a Skin Wars type competition. So we'll talk. I'll talk to that with the instructors. So anyways, oh yeah. So Omar, you mentioned convention is Friday to Sunday, and Lynn, my wife, says that is correct. And so anyway, so yeah, Sean, Avi, Dutch. So we're gonna have an incredible group of Skin Wars contestants who are teachers and amazing painters that are going to be there teaching you all. So that is in the evening. Avi is going to teach you how to do some airbrush stencil if you haven't done that before. And then we've got another balloon decor class in the evening, and then performing magic for children. So magicians sometimes would rather attend classes in the evening than hang out in the jam room. This is something we learned a few years ago, so we added magic classes in. So Dennis Thomas is going to be talking about performing magic for children, and Dennis is here. So Dennis, I'm going to bring you onto the stage. Everyone welcome Dennis. And Dennis, tell us a little bit about magic for children, or basically what you're going to be teaching that whole weekend.
Great. Hello, Louis, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, magic for children. Basically, it's something I put together based on all the lectures that I've been through in my career. And again, even though mostly is for magic and for magicians, it's actually for anyone who wants to entertain children. What it's going to be is more like, what to be and what not to be as you're entertaining children. Almost like a refresher course, like, oh yeah, I heard that and I forgot about that. And throughout I will be giving, I'll be doing some magic tricks and some routines to say, this is to emphasize, this is how you get them engaged. This is how you get them laughing. This is how you get them to like you, that kind of thing. So it's really hopefully a well-rounded lecture or class on how to entertain children, how to get them on your side. Because if you aren't very good, they're going to let you know. If you work for children, they speak their mind. They don't hold back.
Yeah, so. Let me interject, Dennis, because when I look at magic classes and the instructors that teach them, how do I say this? There are people that are actually working every single week and weekend doing this work. And then there are some that are just doing this every so often or performing at the Magic Castle and things like this, which is, of course, completely amazing. But there are people who I call it, they're in the trenches. There are magicians that are doing this work. They're in the trenches because they're actually busy with all of the daycares and the birthday parties and things like that. That's where Dennis comes in. Dennis is one of the entertainers that is actually very busy week in and week out performing for these centers and birthday parties, performing for kids, basically. Yep. And that's why I think, Dennis, you have the perfect platform to which, to speak from, because I think you're so good at it.
Well, thank you, Louis. I appreciate that. And I'm going to start out with actually defining what is a kid. What ages are we talking about? Like I do say, to a 2-year-old, peekaboo is magic. So so how do you get that audience to pay attention, to sit and watch and enjoy? And again, and they do. If you're watching, a particular child, you have an audience out there of different ages. You pick, a couple of children and watch them, and you see, are they getting it? Are they not getting it? But these are the things I want to, hit on,
Yep.
throughout my class.
This is perfect. All right. If you want to know more about what Dennis is talking about, we'll see you at convention. So thank you, Dennis, for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's continue. So at the same time Dennis is on, we also have Vicky Peng and Josh Schilling. They're going to teach people how to juggle. So let me say this. People have been asking for juggling classes every single year. And I just never had enough people talking about it until this year. So we're going to introduce some juggling classes, and they have an intermediate juggling class too. It's just not on the schedule yet. So keep this in mind. You don't see it yet. This is beginning juggling on Friday night. But if you want to move into intermediate juggling, they're going to teach that too. So, and then at 8:30, Christopher Weed is going to be talking about Foam Daddy, how to have foam parties. So this is, if you've never ventured into this world of foam, which I have this year for the first time, it's amazing. And having these foam parties is, it's something to experience. And I know that it's lucrative. So it's worth your time. So Christopher Weed is going to talk a little bit about Foam 101. And then I'm going to sit down with Barry Mitchell, and we're going to have a magic panel on the right way to work with children volunteers. I'm not going to get into this now because we've been working on this together. And so this is going to be something that I think is going to be eye-opening, but needed in our world. We need to know how to work with children the right way when they're on stage. So that's something. And then Racine Celeste, a lot of people ask for Racine to teach. And so I talked to her, and she's going to be there about connecting with Generation Alpha, which is going to be a completely unique class that I've never seen anywhere. So it's in our clown track, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that may want to attend that. And then speaking of airbrush, we're going to have a beginner airbrush. So airbrush has become more and more popular as conventions gone on. And so because of that, we've added a little bit of airbrush every year. And this year will be the most airbrush that we've done. And so because of that, the Skin Wars people, the Skin Wars contestants have done, this is their forte. They are very good at this. And speaking of which, Sammy Bartko, if I pronounced this correctly, Sammy is here. So Sammy,
hey.
We've never met, so it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about airbrush, or tell us a little bit about you.
Well, as some of you may know, I've been on Skin Wars and stuff along with some other amazing artists and everything. And I decided at this convention to go ahead and teach like beginning airbrushing. I know for myself, before Skin Wars and stuff, I had purchased an airbrush, compressor, the whole 9 yards, invested in everything, and got really intimidated by it. And it just sat, which I'm sure like most artists out there, the same thing. So I figured I'd break the ice with airbrush for beginners and teach you not to be afraid of it. I'll show you how to break down your airbrush, the different types of airbrushes that are available and to work with, different types of mediums that you can use in it, whether it be makeup or acrylics, whatever it may be. So, and of course, Avi will go ahead and elaborate on the airbrush face painting. So you can take what you learn in my class and then go to Avi's class and learn how to actually do the face painting on it. So there's a lot of different classes that I feel that can go hand in hand, but this is just going to be the basics and everything. So I'm super excited to teach you all about it and just show you how it's done. Yeah.
So in my opinion, airbrush to me is complicated. So my wife does airbrushing. To me, I don't get it. And it's not my thing because I'm a magician, but I know that you need to learn how to use an airbrush. It's not simple. It's not, it's got its own, there's face paint and there's airbrushing, and they're two different skills that people can learn. And so what is your other class?
And then it's going to be magical masks. So I'll be teaching face painting masks and things like that. So it'd be like masquerade type of stuff, or, just to use super cool colors, glitters, all sorts of, fun magical things that every little kid loves to be painted as. So,
yep. I've already gotten people who have messaged me saying that they want to take that class, that specific class. So
awesome.
So I think that's.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going to be there. So
yeah, me too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to kind of be back at things and just like, meet some new people. Like, this is going to be fun because like I haven't been a part of like a convention with clowns and magicians and all sorts of stuff, and hearing like the previous instructors speak, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to take these classes because I think they could benefit me as well for everything that I do. So
I totally agree with you. Now, I saw some of your back and forth with Sean Abram. This is not
my nemesis.
Yeah, this won't be a problem, will it?
No. Only for him.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you, Sammy.
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody.
All right, so there you go. So we're not even out of Friday night, and you've already met quite a few people. And so I'll move a little bit quicker because I know I don't want to take up too much time. Maybe about an hour. But at 10 o'clock, we have a special class from Dan Nixon on creating a puppet character. So if you've ever wanted to get into puppets and try those out, that's Dan Nixon. That's his thing that he does. He makes puppets and then he teaches the classes. So I think that you'll really have a good time with this because he's going to have a huge spot in the vendor room. So if you want puppets, this is going to be a year to grab some puppets because I've seen his display and it's massive. So, and then we're going to do the Friday Fortune. We're going to do the raffle after that. Then that moves into Saturday. So let's move into Saturday. So Saturday morning, we start at 9 o'clock. We're going to have some breakout sessions. We're going to have Dennis Thomas will be back talking about creating a themed magic show. Julia Swanson is going to be in our clown track talking about techniques and blending for makeup. It'll be clown makeup. Plus she tells me that it's going to be more different types of makeup. So makeup for entertainers, basically. So I think this could be a very interesting class because, as entertainers, as magicians, I remember who talked about makeup. There's been two instructors. Well, either way, I know Brad Ross talked about it one time. And so anyways, I think this will be an interesting class for everyone. And then we've got Allison Kenyon, who's another Skin Wars contestant, going to be talking about painting at large events. And then Shannon Holt, another Skin Wars alumni, will be talking about painting at senior centers. Margaritaville, learn how to paint popular designs for seniors who are living their best life. So this is, again, to me, this is a whole other a stream of revenue for people that I bet if you're a face painter, I bet you've never thought about this, marketing to senior centers. So that's going to be something that she's going to talk about. And then we're going to introduce, let me say first, we've got 2 balloon sponsors this year. So we're going to have Batalic, who is going to be there as our sponsor with balloons for the jam room and balloons for the classes. And then we have Jamar that's going to be there, and Jamar is going to do the same exact thing. Balloons in the classes, balloons. So if you're a balloon artist, this is heaven because you're going to have an opportunity to play with balloons that you've maybe never touched before. But if you have questions about them, the representatives are going to be there. And then Premier Entertainment, which is Brian and Tyler, they're sponsored by Batalic, and they're going to teach line work. So that is the #1 requested class for balloons, line work. And so that's exactly what they're going to be teaching. And then we have Elenia, who's going to be teaching Smiley Garden, twisting techniques to bring projects to life, like flowers and things like that. And she's sponsored by Jamar. And then our amazing staff member, Jason Snyder, is going to be teaching beginner balloons. So if you want to try balloons and for the first time, maybe, you can jump into that class and Jason will teach you some beginner stuff. And so I see a question up here. Will there be pre-convention or post-convention? This is a great question. With this new hotel that we're at, I have the hotel from Friday to Sunday. The prior hotel, when we were at Hilton Mark Center, I had the hotel Thursday through Monday. That was an awesome opportunity to do the pre and the post conference, the pre and the post workshops. But because we only have Friday through Sunday, last year we tried doing Sunday night workshops and it didn't work out. So to answer your question, George, no, there will not be any pre-convention or post-convention workshop this year. And this may be the thing of the future. We may just be a 3-day convention where you come. We've got over 70 classes. So you come and within those 70 classes, that's what we're going to offer, for the deal day price of $250. And then we're going to leave it at that. So thanks for your question. All right. 10:30, we move on to Chubster Flores, who's coming all the way from the Philippines to teach for the first time in the United States. So he's going to be teaching magic, tips, tricks, and ideas. So I'm really excited that he's going to be here. And then Marcella Murad from Florida Silly Farm will be in our clown track talking about weaving storytelling into children's shows. And then for the first time in 6 years in our face painting track, we have Lisa Joy Young will be here for the first time in 6 years. So Mike, to answer your questions, yes, always family friendly. And then, so Lisa Joy Young is up against Dutch again, and they're going to be teaching face painting. But Lisa is probably one of the top 3 instructors that I get requested. And so she hasn't taught for 6 years. She was actually out of this business for a little bit, and now she's back. And if you haven't seen her YouTube videos, look her up on YouTube. You're gonna love her work. So, and then back to balloons. Now this is interesting because at the same time you've got Jeff and Chris teaching at the same exact time, and we have both of them here today. So I'm going to add them in. So, hey, Jeff and Chris, welcome.
Hello. Hey, I didn't see you there. Hi.
Yeah, welcome. So, Jeff, I know you've taught before, and you've got a couple unique classes. We'll talk about your video game one in a second. But Chris, on the other hand, Chris was in our 30-day balloon challenge. And so if you guys remember, we did 30 days of creating all these different balloon creations and stuff. And then I got so many compliments on Chris, what you were doing in the challenge, that we reached out and I said, I would love for you to teach. So Chris, tell us a little bit about what you're going to do.
Well, I go back to about 38 years ago when I first started in theater. Started doing balloon art 35 years ago, and I decided I needed to blend both of those things together. So I started actually being able to use my balloons to tell stories. It's not improv. It's actually, they're scripted stories. I take a story that I want to use, and I take the balloons, and I bring it all together, and it just becomes one fun, entertaining thing for all ages. Whether you're preschooler all the way up to 90 years old, we have something for everybody in the stories that we tell.
Yeah.
So my plan is to take what I know and what I've learned over the last 20 years of doing this particular thing and trying to bring it to you guys, something that you haven't done, haven't seen, kind of way to think out of the box. And if you as a balloon artist, you may have wanted another avenue, another stream. And you can take these ideas, you can bring magic into them if you want to. You can do it just purely with balloons. It's just, it's a fun time to really get out there and try something new.
Yep. And that's it. And that's exact reason why I was hoping that you would be able to teach this year. So I think that
I'm
you're
honored.
Inject this a different way of thinking, basically. And I, as a magician, am interested to take the classes so that I can learn how to add some balloons, maybe, to what I do. So anyways, yeah. So thank you, Chris. And then Jeff. So Jeff is going to also teach balloons as entertainment. And then start off a little bit about the video game class.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So the video game class is going to be geared towards all children's entertainers, even balloon twisters and face painters. A lot of people know me as an entertainer and a balloon artist, but I'm also I also work with Microsoft in one of their video game divisions, and I've helped develop some of their games. And over the past couple of years, I've seen a lot of similarities into what goes on behind the scenes with video games. A lot of the tips, tricks, a lot of the psychology. A lot of people don't realize this, but Microsoft, as well as Disney, they have a psychology department where things kind of funnel through to them based on, if you've ever had children that maybe you're like, oh, why are all these kids doing this? Or I would like the children to do this. Well, there's a lot of tips and tricks you can put in place to address that before it even comes up. So it allows you to really, really tailor the game and the entertainment to get it the way that you want. Not necessarily a stage show, but any interaction, the entire experience that you have with children.
Yeah, and I think, once again, this is going to be a class that I don't think anyone has ever seen before at a convention. And that's why I put it in the evening. I don't know if you saw, it's on Saturday night, so that gives everyone an opportunity to attend that class. So like I said, like you had said, Jeff, it's not just for balloon artists, it's for everyone to work with kids. And so I think that's going to be another incredible addition to the evening classes. But overall, once you add in your balloon classes, I know you are an experienced teacher already, and so I know that you're going to do a great job. So thanks to both of you for coincidentally being on at the same time. But I think that each of you add a new element to the convention that we've never seen before. And I think this is going to make not only Deal Day more popular, but something that I think I like to add so that children's entertainers can get better. So I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. All right, so that is up until lunch on Saturday, and then after lunch we come back and Jennifer Remnant is going to teach tips for financial management. So this is not one of the most exciting topics in the world, but it's a topic that I think that all children's entertainers need to have under their belt. And so I'm super excited. And then here I see Evie. So hey, Evie. Thank you so much. We're gonna miss you if you're not gonna be there. I'm still talking to Evie about being there. As you guys know, Evie was always there every single year with Qualitex, and then Qualitex is no longer around. So, but Evie is still around. So Evie, thank you for hanging out and saying hello. And then, such a nice compliment. Thank you. So we'll make sure Evie's there again. We'll just have to work that out. So financial management is something that I think it's information that we all need to have. And so it's a class for everyone to go at the same time. And then at 3:00, Carolyn Ravin, coming all the way from Sweden, is going to teach mastering the magic business for the magicians. And so this is a unique opportunity. She has a really cool book club that you can join on Facebook. So if you're a magician, make sure that you look up her magic book club because everyone reads the same book and then they talk about it. So that's actually a really cool idea. So I'm super excited about that. And coming all the way from Sweden just to teach at the convention. All right, that is at 3:00, and then we have Jenma Holmes, The Truth About Holiday Cheer Throughout the Year. This is another clown class. And then Marcela Bustamante is going to be teaching face painting, with Heather Green is going to be teaching tattoos. And then in our balloon breakout, we have Lindsay Ray that is here, going to be from Jamar, also talking about big kid balloons. And so Lindsay taught with us years ago. It might have been her very first teaching experience. I might be wrong, but it may have been her first teaching experience at Kapital Kidvention years ago, but she'll be back. And at the same time, we have Holly George talking about cute and cuddly critters. And so I don't envy the balloon artists having to choose between which class to attend. I'm so sorry. And let me address this now in case it comes up at one point. People ask me all the time, why did you put such good instructors up against each other? And this is a good question, but it has an easy answer if you think about it. There are instructors that have never taught before. So, and you may not have ever even heard of them, but the topic that they're going to be speaking about is so super important that I wanted them to teach this year. If you don't know who they are and they go up against Holly Nicole George, everyone is going to be in Holly's class, and you're going to miss out on the other class. The other class is going to be empty, and one class is going to be completely packed and overflowing. So the way that I combat that is put two very hard choices in front of you to pick from, and then both classes will have the attendees separated pretty evenly. So that's why I do it. Some people say, why didn't you put that class up against that class? And that's the reason why. The other thing is I've heard some people say, hey, Lewis, why don't they teach their classes twice? And then that way you have a chance to see both of them. If I did that, I would have to cut the instructor list in half, because there just wouldn't be time to have everyone teach their classes twice if I had the same amount of instructors. So what I'd have to do is cut the list in half, and instead of, 9 balloon instructors, you'd have 4 or 5, and then that would be it. But then you'd see every single class. So basically what I do is I offer you the buffet. You come to the buffet and you have all these options in front of you. When you go to a buffet, there's no way that you're going to eat everything while you're there. You're going to have to pick and choose your favorite items from the buffet, and that's a decision that you get to make. If I cut everyone in half, I would be giving you your dishes every meal. So I would say, this is what you're going to eat this time. This is what you're going to eat this time. And it may not be your cup of tea. So basically, I like the buffet option better, where you get to pick and choose which classes to attend. So there you go. All right, let's get into the evening. We have Heather going to have some games in the jam room. And then we're going to have balloon games in there too. So by the way, Batalik and Jamar are going to play some balloon games with the balloon artist. And then we have back into the evening classes, Roger is back talking about forgotten magic, maximizing your props and booking success in the preschool market. So Roger, I'll jump you back in. Tell us, just give us a little idea about what that class is.
I'm just thinking I need to take this financial management class. That sounds a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I'm talking about is that all it's divided, this lecture. There's 2 topics. The first one is really on all the props that we've got, hundreds and thousands of them that are gathering dust in our den. With this lecture, you'll be able to use almost every single one of them with this little secret formula, which I'm not going to give too much away about now to whet your appetite, but I'm also going to talk about doing the daycare market, but not just during the summer months. I'm talking about going every month of the year with an educational show of like dental hygiene, nutrition, stranger danger, mysteries of the universe, this kind of thing, with 3 or 4 magic tricks going back to the same center. And if you can think of that 4 in a day, 5 days a week, and you're doing the birthday parties of the weekend, you're talking about a lot of shows.
More work than.
And if you're only charging $100 a show for them, you're talking, you're well into the 6 figures there, just doing that particular market. But I'm going to, talk about that a possibility, and all the props gathering dust. I've got something that's really cool that's came up actually in my shows this summer. I've started to doing. It's working really well with props I thought I'd never use in my life. So there you go.
I love it. All right, thank you, Roger.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be good. In my usual wacky way, I'm very much, as you know, an improv. I'm not like Barry Mitchell, who's wonderful, but very scripted. I'm very off the mark, as Lewis knows. So we'll see what happens.
We love it. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
All right. So honestly, this is the year that I don't actually want to produce the convention. I want to just be an attendee. It's so funny that when I'm producing, I'm, running from one place to the next, and, making sure that everything is running smoothly for all of you. But this is the one year that I really actually just want to sit in the classes and learn from everyone. So I'm going to do my best to do that this time. So I have an incredible staff of people that are there, that support everything that I do and support you all. And so I'm going to lean on them to see if I can hang out in those classes. So there you go. So that's in the evening. We've got Jolly Roger, and then Racine is back in the clown track talking about scary clowns. Mershida is going to be teaching henna. Jeff is back with the video game lecture that we talked about. And then Amanda Wisely is going to be talking about transforming your mind, transforming your life. Amanda was there last year, and she spoke. She did a class last year that was, I got a lot of compliments from, and I got a lot of people asking to have her back. And so if you didn't see her class last year, this is your chance to actually jump in and take this class. So all of these are going on. I mean, as crazy as this sounds, while the jam is going on. So we have a jam going on while these classes are going on. So you have a choice. If you want to just sit back and relax, listen to the music, have fun with the theme night that we're doing, you can definitely do that. And that's your choice. But if you want classes, we still have those too. And so they're going to be there. And hey, Shannon, if you want to jump into the instructor group, let me know. You'll see it in the instructor thread on Facebook. If you want to jump in. So that's Amanda. And then at 8:45, this will be the 3rd year that we've done this, is we're going to have Up Close Magic Show. So Mike Hummer, our local magician, who worked with Al Cohen at Al's Magic Shop, he is going to put together a show, a group of magicians that do a close-up magic show at 8:45. So those of you who have seen this before, it's so good that you don't want to miss it if you like magic. And then at 11 o'clock, Eric Leclerc will be here doing his magic show for all of the adult attendees. So this is our late night magic show. And so we encourage everyone to come because Eric has been on Fool Us. He's been on multiple TV shows. He'll be teaching a magic class, but he's also going to be our headline magic show on Saturday night. So that, again, you don't want to miss. We're going to have magic shows, jams, music, all of this stuff happening in the evening. And then you wake up Sunday morning. And I haven't talked to Earl about this. So Earl Long, for the last, I can't even tell you how many years, has done a ministry. It's like a ministry show, but service, 8 o'clock on the morning on Sunday. So for those of you who are missing church on Sunday, don't worry, you can go to Earl's 8 o'clock lecture and you'll be in church, so to speak. And then at 9 a.m., Dan Nixon is back with puppets. Corn Pop is in our clown track, talking about birthday parties, doing it Corn Pop style. Shannon, who just put that comment in there from Skin Wars, will be back teaching an upscale bling bar. I say that a few times fast. And so, if you want to do how to do body painting, a bling station for entertaining for weddings and special events, Shannon will be able to teach you that. So once again, Shannon's classes are 2 streams of revenue that you may not have thought about before, that as a face painter that you can directly add in and book more gigs. So those are 2 classes that you should be sitting in. And then Sammy Barco's back with that mask painting that we talked about. Chris Birch, who you met already, is going to be doing the balloon storytelling, bringing fairy tales to life. And Premier Entertainment, which is Brian and Tyler, will be doing a surprise balloon menu. And then Jason Snyder will be teaching Beginner Balloons 102. So these are for the people that took the 101 class. If you want to learn more about balloons, you can do that. At 10:30, I'm going to teach a class. So every once in a while, I get an opportunity to teach a class at the convention. And so I'm going to do a class that's called The Silent Art of Laughter, Chaplin's Influence on Children's Magic. So Charlie Chaplin, the silent movie star, there are elements of what he did that directly ties in with performing magic. And if you want to know what those are, I'm going to teach you at 10:30. Then Jen Mahomes is back. She's going to teach. This is in the clown track, but my goodness, it's called the social media class. So this is going to be about social media. And so once again, I think it's going to be a class that's going to be packed. And then Allison Kenyon is Packs Small, Plays Big for face painting against Sean Avram, teaching Valentine's Day designs. So this convention will end prior to Valentine's Day. So what an opportunity this will be for everyone. And so, Ali, I see your question came up. How much is Kids Track for Deal Day? It's $250. It's the same Deal Day price. Kids Track is $250. Adult registration is $250. Both of them go up after Deal Day. So thank you for asking. And then Joe Mock and Lindsay Ray are back teaching balloons. Then we do lunch. This will be your last opportunity to go to the vendor room. So Sunday at lunchtime, after the lunch is over, the vendors will close. And then Eric Leclerc is back with magic at 2 o'clock, his magic lecture. And then Julia Swanson is teaching silly songs for performers. This is in our clown track. So if you've ever wanted to know some fun songs, interactive fun for kids, this will be the class for you. Lisa Joy Young is going to be teaching a face painting technique called ghosting. Avi Ram will be teaching temporary tattoos. And then Holly George is back with wild wearables, and Joshua Clark with dancing balloons. All right, so that is going to end the breakout sessions, because that'll lead to 3:30. And then at 3:30, Michael, you have been waiting patiently. So Michael Bay is going to be teaching a class. This will kind of wrap up the convention for everyone, and that's exactly the idea. So we had Roger, Jolly Roger, starting with kind of giving everyone some inspiration, and then Michael Bay is going to be teaching how to turn your passion into a profit. So Michael, if you're ready, I'd like to add you in.
Hi, how you guys doing? Or how are you
Awesome.
doing?
Yeah, I'm awesome. They're probably awesome too. So I'm so glad that you'll be teaching. I mean, this class, when you sent it to me, I thought this is a class that everyone needs to know about. So tell us a little bit about the class, or a little bit about you.
Okay. I work twice a week as a pirate. Captain Black, the pirate, face painting and balloon twisting and whatnot. And Sundays today, I work at a really nice supermarket that has bands. It's 2 stories. I dress steampunk. Well, sometimes it's this what no. Started as a clown. Funky the Clown. Had a local clown show. I just started growing the business out because I always did things on a certain level. And in sales, marketing, promotion, you know, it always starts with what are you selling? Well, it's you, and it's what you do. So the first thing is, what is that, and how do you make that as good as it can be? And then you have because it's easy to sell a product you believe in. It's really good. It's an easy sell. So I went from doing parties as a clown, and I was at a restaurant, and next thing you know, the keyboard player's like, "Oh, you should meet my agent." Now I'm doing stuff at the Ritz-Carlton Beach Resort. We have a beach resort. And I start dealing with agencies and corporate stuff. So now we have a New Year's thing we're doing. We're bringing in a Bengal tiger, an Arctic fox. I got people with statues, stilts. My son is leading a project that's building a life-size Game of Thrones dragon with lights in the eyes and smoke come out of the mouth. Joshua Clark is one of the instructors, is flying in for that. We're bringing in Darren Mortiboy from Ireland. But it all started with just, as soon as I came on as a clown, I looked better. I noticed a lot of the clowns, they'd wear like jeans and like just sneakers, and they'd talk in their same voice. You know, I'm like, hey, Funky the Clown here.
Right.
It was always, and so what I try to get people to do is, one, make you and your product better, and then it's branding it. Then you go from there and promotion and marketing it. And someone's getting into social media, but I get into that because I use a lot of that. And it starts with content. And once again, it comes down to what is the product, and it's you. I want to help. Rising tide raises all the boats.
Yeah.
And if people have a certain perception of, say, balloons, it's hard to make them think in another direction. So we did a country club, and they were doing a welcome back party for the snowbirds. We're very seasonal here, and they had a night at the museum theme. So I had somebody there dressed like a Roman soldier, somebody's a pharaoh, a girl like a squaw, somebody as Teddy Roosevelt. But then I asked them, I said, what about the T-Rex skeleton in the movie? They go, well, what about it? Anyways, my son and I made it, and it was 14 feet tall. And it's just how to expand what you already do. And this is what this convention's about, because I tell every face painter, you should know how to do basic balloons, even if you're just putting something on a hairband to accent what you just painted. And if you've ever seen my work, I'll be showing some of that, but and vice versa. A balloon twister that can take a rainbow palette. Today, the last few kids, I had to get out of there. I took a rainbow and just wiped it on with a sponge, and took a chopstick and some glitter and rolled it on there. Yeah. Dad forked out a 20. You got a card. I was trying to leave it. Wow factor with minimal effort. Yep. So, I do line work, but now I get to the point now, being around some of these people that are the instructors, and you are making this really hard, because I was like listening, going, do I go this way? Do I go this way? Yeah. So, but how do you make money with it? How do you go to the next level with it? And that's what I'm going to talk to you about and show you.
Which is, I think, perfect for where you're going to be in the weekend, because everyone's going to kind of learn some cool skills. So you're going to learn more balloons, you're going to learn more face painting, you're going to learn airbrush, you can learn clown skills, you're going to learn all this stuff. But if you're the type of person that wants to actually now make money with what you've learned, that's a skill. That's another skill. So learning how to manipulate or how to work this business is something that you need to know. And so that's why right at the very end, you come in, and then your class is going to teach people basically how to take everything that they've learned, how to brand it and create your own, celebrity character, and then add in the social media, and then you can start to hopefully make some more money from this business. Does that sound right?
Yeah, but networking, because it started with me showing up as a face painter, and then it's like, hey, do you have another face painter, or do you know any balloon twisters? So now one country club, I have somebody there in an Easter Bunny costume. I have somebody as the Mad Hatter, somebody in an Alice costume, somebody who's the Red Queen. Then we have 2 face painters and 2 balloon twisters. Well, now I got that times 9 country clubs. Yep. And so but it all starts with the nucleus of you marketing it, branding it, and then from there, that's when we'll go into the other stuff.
Yep. It's a wealth of knowledge. So I'm glad you're going to be there. So, and thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right. All right. So everyone, I appreciate you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I thought it ended with Michael's lecture. It doesn't. After Michael's over, then I come back to the stage and I'm going to give everyone some final comments about the convention. And then we're going to go dinner, and then we have a magic show at 7:00. So the public comes in, and when the public comes in, I invite all the attendees, pull out your face paint kit, pull out your balloons, pull everything out, get dressed up in your clown outfit. And as these kids come in, we entertain them. Then they come into the magic show at 7:00. And they get to see an amazing, amazing show. Every year, this is a highlight of the convention. And then we go back to the jam room, and we all hang out again one more time in the jam room. And that is basically the convention. So we went over a little bit over an hour, but, and the instructors that are here, stay here for a second. I'm going to bring you all back. So thank you for hanging out with us. The sole purpose really is to get you ready for deal day, because that's tomorrow. Deal day is tomorrow. That is the most important day of the year for Kapital Kidvention. So we need to get 200 people registered in that one day. And then, we move on to the stretch goals. And so, Corey, thanks for your question here. Who will be in the vendor room? So I just don't have the list here in front of me, but if you go to the website, I have all of the vendors listed. So you can click on there. But LaRock, Silly Farm, the list goes on and on. I don't know everyone, so I don't want to miss everyone. But if you go to the website, they're all listed. And remember, everyone, all the information, all the vendors, all the instructors, all the classes, everything that you see so far is just to give you as much information that you need to make a buying decision for deal day. That's it. Because we still add stuff. There'll be more vendors. There'll be more classes. There's going to be more things that are added. That stuff comes later. But I just wanted to give you as much information that I have so that you feel like your deal day registration is a good purchase. And remember, it's transferable up until January 1st. So buy your deal day registration, and then if you decide you can't make it or it's not for you, you can sell it to someone else, and then I'll transfer it to them. So that is something that's very unique to us. And so therefore, if you're on the fence about it, just purchase it, because I can guarantee you there has never been anyone who wanted to sell their registration but couldn't do it, because people want to buy those registrations. Because I'm telling you the truth. On Tuesday, the price is $375. So that will be the price that everyone else has to pay. So you will easily be able to sell yours for $250, because you'll have a line of people that would want to buy it. So this was great. Register. Yeah, you just go to kapitalkidvention.com. And so let me give you a little secret. You can purchase deal day registration now. It's live now. So we put the website up. So at the end of this, talk, that it would be live, so that the people are on here would have a jump start. So if you want to get your registration for deal day, you can get it right now. So it is available. The website is live. Everyone else will find out about this at midnight in a few hours when they jump on there. But little did they know it's been on since now. So if you want to register, you can do it now. So let me invite all of these instructors that are still here. I'd like to bring them back on stage. So thank you to all of you guys for hanging out, and for the ones that were here and that had to leave. And so thank you for joining us. And I think this was super informative, not only from my perspective, but adding your flavor to it. It was super helpful. So thanks to you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. So I'll say goodnight because tomorrow is going to be an incredibly busy day for me. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I start working deal day up until midnight. So from 6 to midnight, I'll be sitting here in front of the computer and hang out, because I'm going to make it into a fun day, because I'm going to jump on here and do some live stuff. No one knows this, but I'm going to give away prizes tomorrow. So I'm going to give away some prizes. So if you don't have anything to do tomorrow and just want to hang out and watch, it's going to be a fun time tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing all of you at the conference from when we all get to hang out together. It's always an exciting time, but the first step is deal day. That's step number one. Let's have a successful deal day tomorrow. But I appreciate all of you that hung out here tonight. So this will be available for replay if you missed any part of it. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.